that those of us who hail His Imperial Majesty are nothing but waste people. People who don't have any skills, people who don't have anything to do. And instead, what they have demonstrated is that they're able to bring Nyahbinghi professionals here who are doctors, surgical practitioners, mining specialists, teachers, judges, as a way of demonstrating that if they themselves are given an opportunity to rise and to play a fair and equal part in Malawian society, then they too can also make a contribution to Malawi at this level. And so for that, I'm asking us to extend a vote of thanks to all of the Rastafari brethren and sisterings from the Nyahbinghi house who have arranged this monumental event. Rastafari. I listened also to the brethren when he spoke about some of the challenges that Nyahbinghi in particular and Rastafari in general face in Malawi. And given the colonial history of Malawi, I think it's a real shame, but I also see that as an opportunity for African countries like Malawi to stand up and say, no, we are not going to allow our citizens to suffer worse than those children who will remain captive in the West. We can't have a situation where the children of your own country do worse than the children of those taken by slavers. It's an imbalance. If we have Rastafari children going through schools in the UK, then I don't see how the UK can teach Africa anything. Africa is the mother of civilization, and Malawi is a child of that mother of civilization, and therefore I think Malawi has every right to stand up and say, well, actually, now that we know, we will address these matters, because we're not going to have anybody think that we are prepared to sit back and allow children of Malawi to be treated any less, or for anyone to have an opinion of Malawi as being any less than other countries in the world. I think it's absolutely important. And if we don't do that, we cut out a huge percentage of the creative capital of Malawi. Every child, every man and every woman has an equal right to live and be free. And if the United Nations recognizes Rastafari as a religion, one of the 18 recognized religions in the world, then by right, Rastafari in Malawi should be treated on par with other religions in terms of the benefits that they enjoy. The right to practice and the right not to face discrimination because of their practice. I think it's a question of just being informed, of sharing information and taking the opportunity to dialogue. There was also a discussion about discrimination in employment. And again, as somebody who has spent almost all of my life in the West, we can't have a situation where these things could be spoken about in environments outside of Malawi, and for anyone to have an impression that Malawi allows its citizens to be discriminated because of their religion. We can't allow that to happen, because Malawi is a child of the mother of Africa, and Africa is the mother of invention and the mother of all civilizations. Whether the others choose to accept that or not, that is the reality. So we would want to see dialogue on these matters. And certainly that's one of the reasons why the Nyahbinghi National Council for Great Britain sent its delegation here to support our Malawian brethren and sistren from the Nyahbinghi House, to ensure that they enjoy the same access to opportunity as we do. So in support of what we have heard, I will close by saying that despite the difficulties that have been spoken about, the Nyahbinghi House in Malawi have been able to gather some of the most eminent Nyahbinghi professionals from the three corners of Africa and Europe. And no other dignitary, no matter where they have come from, has ever been able to achieve that. And that is a measure of the creative capital and the ability to extend their links into other parts of the world that perhaps even Malawian dignitaries did not know they could do. And if we were to open up the opportunity for Nyahbinghi and Rastafari children here and adults to play a full part in Malawian society, I have no doubt about the capital that bedrins and sistrins could bring to Malawi. Malawian Nyahbinghi brethren and sistren have the right to be self-determining, the right to determine their own future and to play a full part in the determination of that future. And I certainly feel that our role is to facilitate that and not to hamper their right to be full players in the life of Malawi. I am somebody, along with several of my colleagues, who are looking at this visit as the first step to playing a bigger role here. And we would not want to be treated any better than bedrins and sistrins who are born in Malawi simply because we come from the West. We would not want that. So I'll close by saying that I, for one, am completely in awe of the Nyahbinghi House of Malawi. What you have done has not been done by anyone else. We've had delegations before, but most of that work has been done by us in the West. This is the first time that without any support, a Nyahbinghi House has been able to achieve something as spectacular as this. And anyone who was at Emperor's View today would have seen the culmination. A song was written to commemorate that event. The press were in attendance. This is truly a spectacular occasion, and I, for one, salute you, and I say, let this be the first step to showing your dignitaries just what you can do when you're only given half a chance. His Imperial Majesty Rastafari.
Haile, Emperor Haile. What a powerful speech. from Mama Asha. Again, a big hand for her. One thing I and I have heard from the speech is that Rastafari is one of the 8 religions recognized by the United Nations. Area in Malawi is a member state of the United Nations. Emperor area in Malawi have to recognize Rastafari. Area. That was a powerful speech from Mama Dr. Asha, chairperson of the Nyahbinghi National Council, England, representing Rasta as a whole. At this moment in time, let me call our chief, the acting TA, Malemya. The area where we are belongs to TA Malemya, and he is our TA, acting TA. Here in Malawi, when we say TA, that is traditional authority. He's a big chief. He's a big chief, having village headmen and group village headmen. He's controlling a big area. Now, I'd like to call our chief. Now, as a way of tradition, when the chief wants to speak, we have our own kind of clapping hands. That is, we put it in order. Chief, please.
Good night, good evening. I stand here to welcome all the guests. First of all, let me recognize the presence of our Honorable MP, MP for Zomba Central, and my friends, chiefs who have just come. To me, I feel I'm really honored to be here. In fact, I didn't expect, it's just today, this morning, when I got a telephone from the Mantua that our fellow friends, chiefs from Planta, the name by Brother Makata, our chief, is the one who extended this invitation that I should come. Definitely, gladly I accepted, and I feel that it's better to come. Simply because the history and you are celebrating 50 years, I happen to be one of the luckiest. Because Dr. Banda, when he came in this country, the first thing which he decided to do, decided to start his own military wing, which was Young Pioneers. And I was the first. And I happened to be in charge of his security. When the emperor came, I was on the entourage from Chireka straight to Zomba. And from here to the mountain. It was the first honorable and respected leader who visited Malawi after attaining independence in 1964. And from the history, when people were told that the emperor, Haile from Ethiopia, is coming to Malawi, they took it because on reading, he didn't expect to see a fellow human being as what he was, just like an angel. And this is people came in thousands to welcome him. So for you people, in fact, I don't find anything strange. But let me say this. Here in Malawi, after democracy 1994, freedom of worship is extended to everyone. And I don't think, even in our villages, you are most welcome. As I've heard here, that those who are abroad are willing to come, I can say for Zomba, you are most welcome. We can give you a place wherever you feel to stay, because there's nothing strange and we don't find the rumors which people were just separating and what, saying you people because you are fond of smoking this and that. We have proved that that is not true. Therefore, you should feel at home. And Malawi was put on the map because of his visit. He opened the gates for other leaders to come to Malawi. So, but I know by then, you people were not even existing anywhere. It is until the democracy 1994 when we started now hearing of the Rastas and what. So therefore, maybe that time when people didn't know, because during Dr. Banda, could even hate someone, keeping bears as I have kept. You see? But when that, at least stopped, well, people are free. People are free. And I was talking with my friends, that you people, I don't know how you keep your hair, because you don't smell, you don't do what, and you look after it properly. You see? Therefore, I can say, feel at home, and don't even, bother what other people can talk and what. Let me say, in fact, I don't think even the day of judgment, God is going to go and see what religion was best, but, at least what belief somebody was, in fact, he was after in that religion. Was he to be blessed or to be away from the heaven to be in paradise? That's the most important. So religious, that is, everybody has got a chance to choose what religion he feels to follow. You see? As I've said, I feel much honored and I don't regret. I'm happy that I accepted and I have come, because I would have missed this rare chance, because I didn't know that you people, you are even at risk everywhere, and important people, important faces, which I have seen here. Those who have come abroad, please take the message. Say there's a country. Malawi is very small. The other, countries which they don't even know where Malawi is. I was in Saudi, they were trying to find out for me. Malawi, where is it? So I was trying to explain to them. Do you know Zambia? Oh yes. Do you know Mozambique? Oh yes. This in between, Tanzania, what is Malawi? But now when we have people, you people from abroad coming, then you tell people, there's Malawi. Malawi is called the home heart of Africa. We have very nice places. And Malawi, the people in Malawi, that's their tradition, to welcome their fellow African. You are most welcome even if you have time from tomorrow. Try to go around even. Where I happen to be here in town, you can come across even down to Chikanda, go to Ntia. You find, people, they welcome you happily. That's our tradition. So, that's again I say, thank you very much for extending this invitation to me and for me, witnessing, attending this occasion, being part and parcel of your celebration of the 50 years since this great leader visited this country of Malawi. It was a blessing in disguise that he came to Malawi, and Malawi from this first that time when he came, it was on the map. Other leaders started to follow because, he was a very important leader, and he's a very important leader to the history. He's the unexpected leader, which in fact even the British could recognize that this is a leader. Therefore, I say thank you very much. Thank you.